Newsom never shot anybody. Never even touched that gun. Never fired the gun.
I'm advocating for Tory Lanez because the evidence shows that he's innocent, and he deserves to be pardoned by Governor Gavin Newsom. You know, he's 100% exonerated from the gun, and for that alone, he should be home with his family.
Tory Lanez, a presidential pardon? Yeah, that's the wild talk flooding the streets right now. This case has been pure chaos from the start, but now it's spinning into full-on political territory. Suddenly, powerful folks are jumping in, secret meetings are happening behind the scenes, and shady alliances are popping up out of nowhere. And it's all being pushed to bring Tory home. This ain't just about what went down that night anymore. It's about who is trying to flip the script entirely. From courtrooms to backdoor deals, something major is brewing. And if even half of what people are whispering turns out true, this whole saga could get turned upside down. Ever since Tory got locked up, the support's been nonstop. And it's not just loud fans on social media. Nah, this wave is coming from big-time names in the industry and even some political insiders. We're talking Drake, Amber Rose, and Chris Brown all making noise, saying Tory got done dirty and doesn't belong behind bars. Amber Rose, she's been especially loud about this. She said straight up that she believes Tory is innocent. In a recent interview, she didn't hold back, claiming that the actual evidence proves he didn't do what he was accused of, and get this, she's even calling on Governor Gavin Newsom to pardon him. Amber says Tory was cleared when it came to the gun charge, and based on that alone, she thinks he should already be home with his people. This ain't just talk anymore. Things are heating up fast. Now, when Amber Rose speaks, people listen. She's always been the type to say exactly what's on her mind, especially when it comes to celebrity drama and legal messes. So when she stepped into the Tory Lanez situation, it made waves. And what really got folks buzzing? Amber said Tory personally called her from prison and laid it all out. She claimed he gave her the full rundown of his side of the story. And one thing she said really hit different. The infamous text message that's been spinning all over social media. Most people thought that message was Tory straight up confessing. But Amber? She says that's not what it meant at all. According to her, the message had nothing to do with the shooting. It was about personal stuff, something way off from what people assumed. In her eyes, that changes how everybody should be looking at this case. Then there's Drake. He's been pretty quiet on the surface, but don't let that fool you. He made one subtle move that said a lot. He posted a petition on his Instagram story asking Governor Newsom to pardon Tory. And next to it, just a simple caption: "Come home soon."
I'm advocating for Tory Lanez because the evidence shows that he's innocent, and he deserves to be pardoned by Governor Gavin Newsom. You know, he's 100% exonerated from the gun, and for that alone, he should be home with his family.
That's it. Just a few words. But when it comes from someone as calculated as Drake, that post sent shockwaves. People couldn't stop talking about it. Drake doesn't attach himself to just anything, so him showing support gave Tory's fans a huge boost. It also brought even more eyes back to the case. And while some celebs have stayed quiet, they're still making moves behind the scenes. Some are still following Tory on socials, while others, like Kim Kardashian, have quietly been stepping back from Megan Thee Stallion. That silence? Yeah, it's loud. People been watching every move, and it's getting messy. A $ AP Rocky, he's still following Tory Lanez but doesn't follow Megan Thee Stallion at all. Justin Bieber just unfollowed Meg too, but guess what? He kept following Tory. And that's not all. Tory's music is back in rotation. Fans and celebs are playing his tracks like nothing ever happened. Tory's supporters are turning up the pressure. One fan posted, "Release Tory Lanez. He innocent." Now sure, these might look like small things, but in the celebrity world, that kind of digital energy matters. It tells a bigger story, and fans are picking up on it quick. Who's still showing love? Who's staying silent? It's got people questioning what's really going down in private convos behind the scenes. But hold up, this ain't just celeb drama anymore. This thing just jumped into political warfare. It's not just about fame, it's about power, legal twists, and a fight that's turning into a full-blown scandal. And here's where it gets wild. A conservative congresswoman, Anna Paulina Luna, just stepped into the spotlight, blasting Governor Gavin Newsom and calling for Tory's freedom. Yup, she's saying Tory's 10-year sentence was straight up broken, claiming the case was stacked with weak evidence, political pressure, and serious bias. But she ain't done. She even promised some explosive new evidence is coming in the next 36 hours. She claims it's going to shake up the whole case and flip the narrative. But of course, Megan Thee Stallion's camp ain't letting that slide. Her lawyer clapped back hard, saying Tory got a fair trial and deserved that conviction. And Megan? She didn't hold back either. She went off on social media, shutting down the noise with no hesitation. It wasn't Tory? That's what his team is pushing now, and the spotlight's back on Kelsey Harris. Yeah, the same Kelsey who straight up pleaded the fifth when they asked her if she saw Tory shoot Megan. Now think about that. Why stay silent unless you got something to hide? But wait, it gets even crazier. Tory's team dropped an audio clip from the night of the shooting, and what he's claiming is wild. In the clip, one of the defense's own witnesses is heard telling police that the shots came from a woman. Not a man, a woman. According to that witness, it wasn't just a fight, it was a full-on brawl. Scratching, kicking, yelling, the kind of chaos you see in reality shows gone off the rails. And while that madness was popping off between Megan and Kelsey, the driver apparently jumped out to break it up. Tory? He supposedly stayed in the back seat, not involved at all. If that's the real scene, then yeah, it's looking more and more like Tory might have been innocent from the jump, and that's why his supporters are calling louder than ever for a presidential pardon. But it doesn't stop there. Tory also spoke out from behind bars, claiming the prosecutor lied about the DNA evidence. He says it wasn't inconclusive, like they told the court. His DNA wasn't on the gun at all, completely excluded. If that's true, it blows a massive hole in the whole case. Like, how did they even get a conviction off that? Something's not adding up, and people are starting to notice. And now, a social justice group called Unite the People is stepping into the mix. And they just dropped a bombshell of their own. Boom, here comes a game changer. Walter Roberts, the lead attorney for Unite the People, just dropped a jaw-dropping claim that could flip this whole story on its head. He says that Kelsey Harris's own bodyguard, Bradley James, overheard her admit that she was the one who pulled the trigger. Yup, according to him, Tory never fired a single shot. James claims Tory was actually trying to prevent things from spiraling. He says Tory didn't even have the gun in his hand when it went off. The story goes that Kelsey and Tory were struggling, and during that scuffle, the gun discharged multiple times. If this is real, it completely wrecks everything the court was told. And here's the wild part. It actually lines up with what some witnesses had said before. There was a fight between two women. Things got violent, and Tory got stuck in the middle of it all. It wasn't his fight, but somehow he's the one who ended up doing the time.
Well, I heard the whole story from Tory's mouth. He called me personally from prison, and I now understand why he said sorry, and it's not for any shooting at all. So I'll let him tell that story when he comes home, but the sorry was not for what people...
But it ain't just lawyers and witnesses backing him. Tory's own father came out swinging. Sunstar Lanez showed up outside the courthouse and unleashed a fiery speech in front of reporters, blaming the entire thing on Megan Thee Stallion's camp, especially Rock Nation and their heavy hitters. I just witnessed the biggest injustice right here in Los Angeles, he shouted, his voice full of anger. You want to know how I feel? I'll tell you exactly how I feel. And then he started naming names. Megan's lawyer, Megan Foyer, prosecutor Alex Biro, Rock Nation's COO Desiree Perez, and of course Jay-Z himself. Tory's dad put the blame squarely on their shoulders, calling them part of what he described as a corrupt machine working against his son. The streets are talking, and it's getting louder by the hour. People are saying Tory's been locked up for something he didn't even do, and now all this new evidence is starting to hit hard. With the presidential pardon chatter picking up steam, the pressure's shifting. But not everybody's happy about it. Rumor has it, Megan and Jay-Z are far from thrilled about Tory's possible shot at freedom. Word is, They're working overtime behind the scenes to keep him behind bars. Why? Well, Megan's signed to Roc Nation, Jay-Z's powerhouse label. And whispers say his team's got a lot to lose if Tory walks free. Here's where it gets even deeper. Insiders claim things got heated way back when Tory refused to sign with Roc Nation. That move allegedly rubbed Jay the wrong way. Some folks are saying he didn't like the fact that Tory was making moves independently, and that decision might have triggered a chain of drama that helped land Tory in legal mess in the first place. On social media, it's on fire. People are calling out Jay-Z, accusing him of not standing for the culture and instead using his influence to decide who wins or loses in this game. Some are even going as far as to say Roc Nation backed Megan's whole legal battle just to make sure Tory's image got dragged and buried. But now, the tables might be turning. With the presidential pardon talk heating up, sources say Jay-Z and Megan are scrambling, doing whatever they can to protect their own interests. It's like they didn't expect Tory to get this kind of public support, and now they're allegedly trying to block any new evidence from ever seeing the light of day. The goal now? Shut down this presidential pardon before it even gets off the ground. This ain't just about freedom, it's a power move, and everybody's tuned in to see who comes out on top. If Tory Lanez actually gets that pardon and walks out of prison, it's not just a win, it's a complete flip of the whole narrative. Because a pardon ain't just about letting someone go. It's a loud message saying the system got it wrong. That kind of statement would shake the industry, and for Tory, it could clear his name, revive his career, and prove that everyone claiming his innocence had a point from day one. But for people like Megan, Jay-Z, and Roc Nation, this could be a disaster. A pardon would put everything they've built around this case under a spotlight, and not in a good way. It would throw doubt on Megan's entire version of events, and for someone whose career is tied to that story, that kind of blow could be hard to come back from. And that's why it's getting tense.
Tory Lanez was stabbed 14 times by another inmate at a California prison. He suffered 2 collapsed lungs, but we are told he is now breathing on his own.
Tory's supporters see this as the moment of justice, a chance to expose what they believe was a crooked conviction fueled by politics and shaky facts. The new affidavits, the witness flips, the leaked audio, all of that is starting to add up. And if this pardon goes through, it could crash through the old story and reset everything. So yeah, this battle's way bigger than just court documents. It's on social media, in the press, in backdoor meetings. This is a war over the narrative. Everybody's fighting to control the story. And now the justice system's backed into a corner. Do they admit they might have messed up, or do they double down on a conviction that's already starting to fall apart? And just when you thought it couldn't get more intense, boom! The pressure's spilling into politics, media, and celebrity circles like wildfire. People aren't just debating guilt or innocence anymore. They're questioning who's really pulling the strings behind all this chaos. Behind the scenes, there's talk that Tory's case has become a symbol, like a test for whether the system protects powerful alliances or stands for actual justice. His legal team ain't letting up, and now they've got grassroots movements, celebrity influencers, and even legal experts pushing for transparency. They're demanding the whole case gets re-examined from top to bottom. Meanwhile, insiders say there's real panic setting in among those who've pushed the current story. With all the leaks, contradictions, and new witness statements, they're worried this whole thing could blow up in their face. Allegedly, some major media outlets are even being pressured to downplay updates or avoid covering anything that favors Tory. And don't forget, if that pardon goes through, it might set off a domino effect. More cases like this could start getting attention. More celebrities might come forward. It could expose how influence, money, and power sometimes bend the legal system instead of following the truth. Fans are doubling down too, pushing hashtags, sharing court docs, spreading audio clips. The internet's buzzing 24/7, dissecting every little move. This isn't just a court case anymore. It's a movement. Now all eyes are on the people in charge. Will they let justice run its course or bury it to protect reputations? Whatever happens next, it's clear that this story ain't just about Tory Lanez anymore. It's about exposing what's real, what's hidden, and who's willing to risk everything to keep control.
So the girl comes out of the rear passenger and she goes to the front passenger.
Yeah.
And she opens up the car door.
Yeah.
And then what happens?
They start they're screaming and shouting at each other and they start fighting.
The two girls.
Yeah, I can see one like feet coming out trying to kick her and the other one's fighting and then the passenger.
And now everything's reaching a boiling point. The walls are closing in and the pressure's got folks scrambling in every direction. Tory's team just filed another major motion demanding a full review of the case, and they're not playing around this time. They're stacking up witness statements, forensic reports, and fresh evidence like they're building an arsenal. Meanwhile, those who've been trying to keep this locked down, they're starting to sweat. Sources say there's a flurry of quiet meetings, legal teams going into overdrive, and publicists working overtime to keep certain names out the headlines. The vibe, panic mode. What's wild is how this case, once just another Hollywood scandal, has turned into a full-blown cultural moment. The lines between entertainment, justice, and politics have completely blurred. It's not about celebrity drama anymore. It's about truth, power, and who's got the guts to stand on it. Even people in the music industry are getting nervous. Insiders are saying some execs are now distancing themselves from the case, scared they might end up tied to the fallout if this blows up. Others are quietly reaching out to Tory's camp, just in case things flip and he comes back stronger than ever. And fans, they're treating this like a war. Every new detail spreads like wildfire. Every video clip gets dissected, and every court filing is posted online within minutes. People ain't just watching, they're invested. They're choosing sides, digging deep, and calling out everyone they think is playing dirty behind the scenes. This ain't just a legal fight, it's about reputation, loyalty, and legacy. Because if Tory walks out with that pardon, a lot of folks are gonna have to answer for how they tried to bury him. And once that happens, there's no unseeing the truth.
I am 100% excluded, not inconclusive like they said when I was in trial. I'm 100% excluded from this gun when it comes to DNA.
Let's be real for a second. This ain't just some legal technicality. A presidential pardon at this level is a straight-up statement, one that could not only clear Tory's name but shake the entire game, putting serious heat on Meghan's story and turning the spotlight on powerful forces like Roc Nation and Jay-Z. And that's exactly why the pushback is getting louder, nastier, and more desperate by the day. But now the question is, what's next? Is the White House about to step in? Could we actually hear a president, maybe even Trump, say the words, "I pardon Tory Lanez"? Is that even real? Or will this new evidence finally tip the scales in a way no one expected? Or is this just another twist in a case that's been wild from the start? Drop your thoughts in the comments because this story, it's far from over. And if you're ready for the next bombshell, don't miss a beat. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, share this with your people, and make sure those notifications are on so you don't miss the next drop. Catch you on the next one. This storm's only just getting started.